Uh-huh.
Who did it?
Don't
That's
ask.
all I needed.
Don't ask.
What
Don't
happened?
ask. I have no idea what was going on. All right.
Well, I like being on top.
Yeah, that's a little too much information on a Sunday morning. Amen, brother. Here we go. Welcome to the rare Sunday edition of Baseball Today, presented to you by Dugout Lugs. This is going to be fun. Let's start it out with the Braves. Huge walk-off win. Austin Riley, you are a superstar. You're a superstar. Homer earlier in the game. Walk-off shot off of Blake Trinan. Braves take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-7 NLCS. A lot of missed opportunities by the Dodgers there, or because they went with a bullpen game and the Braves threw their ace, is it not as big a deal?
I think it's not a huge deal. Look, it's game 1 of a 7-game set. They did throw their bullpen there. I will say this. Obviously, they want to win that game. The one thing that's concerning for the Dodgers would be that Trinan gave it up. You know, you kind of want him to be special in the back end there, and they got to him. You know, I know it was a jam shot by Ozzie, and then kind of off the end of the bat, to be honest, with Riley, but they placed it well, and that's going to be in his mind, and more specifically, that's going to be in the Braves' mind. Like, hey, we got to this guy once, we could do it again, because he's been like lights out for them so far. So yeah, I mean, they're not sweating game 1, especially, you know, they got Scherzer on the bump, and he's looked great. But the Braves, that's exactly what they had to do. They got to come win game 1. They'd love to do it again here. Anderson. I can't believe I just said that. Anderson, we'll talk about him in the next question, I believe. I was going to go off on a little tangent here, but I don't want you to get mad at me. So
No, that's okay. Yeah, save it for question 2.
Okay.
So here's the deal. Yesterday I told Ashton, I said it was a must-win for the Braves because the Dodgers pitching was all screwed up going into game 1. They'd have to do another bullpen game. They used 8 pitchers last night after they used 6 in that clinching game 5 out in San Francisco. And they outplayed Atlanta in virtually every facet of the game. They had more runners in scoring. They were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. The Braves only had 2 opportunities. They were 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. The key thing for the Braves, and I want to give them a ton of credit, their bullpen continues to be tremendous throughout the playoffs, right? I mean, they have been dominant. I hated the idea after the Taylor double, Barnes bunts, he pinch hits and he bunts. I hated that. I hated it. You know, give him a chance to move the runner, put it in play. You just never know. And then they get Mookie to pop up to Freddie Freeman in foul territory, and I think Seager struck out to end the inning.
Yeah.
And I want more opportunities to put in the ball in play. I mean, really.
I agree. I'm one of the people that likes bunting. I don't necessarily like bunting in those situations. I like bunting, runner on second, getting to third base. I think that's a difference maker. I like bunting when you're in a slump.
Well, that's what it was. It was a runner at second and getting him to third base. They did get him to third base with 1 out, and Mookie.
You're right. You're
popped out.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, especially in these games where runs are at a premium. I'm okay with that. Especially if you trust in a guy like Mookie coming up to get the job done. He didn't get the job done that time. I'm okay with it, and I think I'm in the minority there. I'm still a bunting guy.
Okay,
I don't have a problem with that. I think that that you just have to give credit to the Braves for getting out of that inning.
Totally. And then the Chris Taylor base running. I mean, he knew it. The minute he rounded the base, he was like, "Oh shit, did I screw up?" I mean, it is so cliche. You don't make the first out at first or third, but particularly when you do have Mookie Betts coming up next. And, yeah. I mean, really, that 90 – I'm a huge 90 feet makes every difference in the world, and Will Smith could put a slider in the dirt if you're over at third. But, man, you have got to be 1,000% right that you're going to get up there if you're going to take the bat out of Mookie Betts' hands.
That's playoff baseball. Everything is under the – what's it called? The
microscope.
See, I learned stuff at Crespi.
Yes, you did.
The microscope.
Yeah.
That happens in the playoffs, and then the Braves make them pay. They win game 1. Excellent game.
No, it was great, and it gives them a big lift. Now, Dodger fans will be quick to point out that you led the series 2-0 and 3-1 last year, and we still came back and beat you. And that's what makes today's game so interesting. The Dodgers are going with Max Scherzer, as you said. The Braves are going with Ion Anderson instead of Charlie Morton to give him a little bit of extra time to recover. Do you think because Scherzer has been used so much recently and has been a little wild, that you would give the edge to Anderson in this matchup.
No, I don't really give an edge in this matchup. I think that both guys are kind of, in my opinion, they're pitching well. Scherzer had one start as a national against the Braves early on where he didn't pitch well. And then I think September 1st, he faced him with the Dodgers, pitched really well. Ian Anderson's had one start against the Dodgers this year. Early on, it didn't go well. So we really don't know anything about this matchup other than these are two pitchers. And they're going up against two pretty damn good offenses that are clicking. So it's going to be interesting to see. I have Anderson going a little bit longer in this game just because I believe the Dodgers' plan seems to be like, hey, like they're calling it a bulk guy. So bulk guy means like 4 or 5 to them. Like more specifically, I think 4. And they say, hey, we have enough pitching depth to go do it. So I think Anderson probably goes longer than Scherzer today. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to pitch better than them. I just think that's the Dodgers' plan.
Yeah, listen, they had very limited looks at Anderson. Collectively, the Braves or the Dodgers hitters are 1 for 15 against him, whereas the Braves have obviously seen a ton of Max Scherzer, having seen him in the division Freddie Freeman's got almost like 50 at-bats against him in his career. So there's no big secrets here. I'm telling you, Scherzer has been wild, and that would bother me a little bit. And, you just never know. I know the Dodgers have a ton of experience. I know that they've played great in elimination games, which we're very far from at this point. So one game, it doesn't feel like, but man, I just go back to last night and a missed opportunity and I wonder if at some point that sort of stuff does kick in with a veteran team, or they're just like, no big deal. We'll just show up at the park today and move on. I
think that's with the players that they have, the experience they have. I think that's the attitude. Like, that we always talk about that. People say, have the memory of a goldfish, short memory, amnesia, if you will. That's what they practice there. They're going to be ready to play today. Another great matchup. And for some reason, I think this whole series is going to be like this. It doesn't seem to me like maybe the Dodgers rout one game. But the rest of the games, I think, are going to be pretty close, and we're going to have plays last night like the Taylor base running mistake or Mookie not getting the runner in from third that are going to decide the games. This is what we want.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people in the chat are saying, well, boy, imagine if Acuna was here. Imagine if Soroka. Both teams can do that, folks. I mean, I know that Acuna is a fantastic player. Max Muncy's pretty important for the Dodgers. Yeah. Dodgers are missing a lot of starting pitchers that they normally would have in the rotate. We can't do this. Let's deal with the people that are here. It's still a great series. Somebody did mention in the chat, I thought this was well brought up, that last year the 7 games were played on 7 consecutive days. There were no travel days because they weren't traveling. We'll see if that has an impact on the series. I don't think that at this point, I would actually think that favors the Dodgers a little bit, that they're going to, because they're definitely using bullpen games throughout this series. We don't know what the Braves are going to do in Game 4 yet, but we'll get to Game 4 when it's Game 4. In the meantime, once again, this is the playoff edition of Baseball Today, presented to you by your friends over at Dugout Mugs. And they're giving away free products throughout the month of October, throughout the postseason. That's right. Kiss that baby. Caress it. That is the famous knob shot that you can get engraved. This can be yours. If you go to Dugout Mugs, use the code word today. It's free. All you have to pay for is the $8.95 of shipping and handling. And when you do this, you get this. You slam it, take a photo, take a video, you post it on social media, tag Dugout Mugs. You're going to be entered to win free stuff. Free stuff. They got great stuff, right? You've seen it all over.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. Made out of baseball bats, beautifully engraved. You've got the wine. I still can't find my bottle opener. I know it's somewhere here. It's just been misplaced. And then, of course, the knob shot. The free knob shot that you can get. All you have to pay is the $8.95 shipping and handling. So once again,
$895?
No, it's $8.95. You stop that now. DugoutMugs.com. Keyword is today.
That'd be an expensive knob shot.
That'd be a hell of a knob shot. You better be putting some expensive liquor in there if you're going to do pay $895. But it's not.
Nameless Jeff has a good suggestion for Dugout Mugs.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Eric, I see in the chat, Rose looks younger than JOMBOY. Hilarious. By the way, when baby JOMBOY gets here, he's going to age exponentially. Okay?
Yes.
So, all right, let's move to the ALCS travel day from Houston to Fenway. All 9 of Boston's runs came on a pair of grand slams and a Kiké solo homer. Let's focus on Kiké. If you're Houston, can't you stop throwing the guy strikes?
Right now, you kind of have to. Normally, I would say no. Like, look, it'll run its course, and there's a lot of other hitters you got to worry about. But he's so hot right now; he's not missing anything. The problem that you run into with that is you're just going to keep putting him on base. Like, he's a good enough hitter where if you start to pitch around him, he's going to realize it. He'll take his walks. Now you got another runner on base, which is tough. But I do say, like, maybe not when there's nobody on base. You can still go at the guy, nibble, try to get him to chase a little bit. But if you have a base open, don't be throwing to this guy right now. I mean, if you're a baseball player, you know what it feels like to be locked in. Multiply that by like 10 with Kiké right now. Like, he is seeing the ball. Doesn't matter what pitch, what kind of count he's in, doesn't matter. So base is clear. Go ahead and maybe try to get him out of his rhythm there. Maybe I hate this, but I know they're going to try it. Maybe go up here. Make him feel comfortable. But when you are in a situation where you have an open base and runners on, you can't pitch to this guy right now. You can't.
You just look at some of the stats, and they're off the charts amazing.
Crazy.
He is the first player ever in a 5-game playoff span to have 15 hits, 9 extra base hits, 34 total bases. Those are all records in a 5-game stretch in playoffs. It's ridiculous. And, by the way, he's carrying that out to the field. I mean, he's saving runs. He's throwing the ball over 97 miles an hour to home plate. He's been fantastic. And yes, you know what? They have to do something, in part because as we get to the next question, their pitching is fucked in a bad way. I'm sorry. It is. You got the injury to McCullers. He's not even on the roster. Yesterday, you had Garcia limp out. We don't know what's going on. It's a strained knee at this point. How much, doesn't it feel like this series is over going back to Boston because of the pitching situation?
Normally I would say yes, and I'm hoping the Garcia thing was more like, hey, let's just give Odo real time to warm up. I think a lot of people have said that, but maybe it's something real too. I don't know. The only thing that's stopping me from saying, yeah, Boston's going to run away with this is the Houston Astros offense is also incredible, dude. Even when they had 9 runs yesterday, people are like, shit, they can still come in this game. They can get back in here. They scored 5.
Yep.
They're in and put up runs. Okay, they're never out of it. So, yes, their pitching is effed. I'm not going to cuss because it's Sunday morning.
Oh, amen.
But their offense can carry them. They play good defense. They just need to find a way. And, Odo with the 4 innings yesterday, I know he ended up giving the Grant.
That was big.
It was big for them.
Yeah.
And the rest of the bullpen shut them down. So Dusty has a plan. Okay, Dusty can figure some stuff out with their pitching. If they can keep it close, if they can hold the Red Sox to 5 runs a game, even 6 runs a game. I know that sounds crazy. This offense is that good. And I don't think the Red Sox pitching is something spectacular that they're just going to shut the Astros out. It's proven that's not going to happen. So, Red Sox, if you want to beat the Astros, 5 ain't going to be enough. 6 ain't going to be enough. Will Middlebrooks was talking about yesterday. He's like, this lead just doesn't feel safe, even though we're up, 5-0 or whatever the heck it was, 8-0. You got to stay on the gas pedal against the Houston Astros because you're never sure of a lead with them because their offense is so good.
Yeah, and wait till it gets to Fenway because that adds a totally different component into the equation. It just is such a bizarre. I've been to so many games at Fenway where you're like, yeah, this feels, and then you look up the scoreboard, you're like, how did it get this close? So it's insane. I would normally say yes because of these 2 injuries that it would be over. But this is all on Houston's offense. And those guys know it. They know they probably have to average double digits in those 3 games involved. They've got to score 30 runs to feel like they've got a chance to win this series.
Yeah, they really do, and they can. That's the thing.
Yeah. All right, last one. During game two, there was a cutaway of a kid that was standing up and cheering in Houston, and some older guy basically tapped him and said, "Hey, sit down. Sit down. Like, I can't see." If that had been Teddy that was cheering, would you have turned to the dude and been like, "Yo, bro, if my kid wants to cheer at a playoff game, he's going to cheer"?
A couple things. Was that his son?
I don't know.
If that was his son, he could do whatever the hell he wants to do, and then I'm okay with it. Look, there are times where you just say, "Hey,"
right.
But if it's not his son, this is what I would say to the guy: "Hey, my seats are in front of yours. You have to respect what I do. Okay, if I'm standing up, guess what? That means you got to stand up. Then the person back you's got to stand up, and it creates a better atmosphere, bro. So just chill out. Okay, if you want to dictate the standing or sitting, buy better seats."
Do you so are you the sort of guy that you don't mind putting your seat back when you're in a plane? Like, you don't feel bad about it going back?
No. If everyone does it, we're all good.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, that's the reason they make those things. Like, I've had people that are like, "Sir, you put your seat back." I'm like, right.
Yeah.
No, it goes back. What do you want me to do? Yes, I did.
Yeah. I never understand that. Oh, don't come back. Well, why not?
Right. The only person that gets shafted on that thing is the person that is all the way back, the last row where you can't go back, or the one right in front of the emergency exit, because I don't think your seat can go back there either.
Yeah. People need to chill out, dude, okay?
Yeah.
This guy, like I'm saying, if it's his son, do whatever you got to do, buddy. I understand.
Yeah.
Father, you got to make some tough decisions from time to time. But if it's not your son, just shut up or buy better tickets. I don't know.
Hey, wait a second. Somebody in the chat said, "Trev, congrats on your new dog."
What?
That's not accurate, right?
This is the only puppy I'm walking today, okay?
That thing's got some bark and bite to it, brother. Just telling you.
I don't have a dog, dude. I don't want a dog.
Oh. Yeah, that's too bad. You're missing out on the love of your life. My Sydney and I. That's my girl. All right, what do you have coming up on JOMBOY?
I'm going to do talking baseball with these guys right now. They've been working their butts off, they're streaming, they're live, they're doing all sorts of stuff. So we're going to talk some baseball today. Then I got a rush, and I got a flag football game at 10 o'clock. So that's it. What do you got, man?
Well, I'm today nothing. I'm going down to NFL Network right after this.
That's why you're good.
Yeah, I mean, I have to shower. I got to clean up. I can't just roll in a hoodie and a hat as much as I'd love to. That's just not the way we do it there, the network. So you can check me out at 7:30 Eastern for game day highlights, and right after the Sunday night game between the Steelers and the Seahawks on game day final tonight. So, but I'll be watching the Dodgers-Braves game too as well. Don't worry.
Okay. One of my running backs is in the chat right now, Zuma. Hey, we're going straight up the gut today, handing it off. We're doing it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Don't let Coach Trev try and coach you out of a victory here. Sometimes they design these complex plays. Let's just keep it simple, okay?
That's not what I do. I'm straight up the gut. Let's have some blockers out there. Let's go.
Good.
Smash mouth football.
All right, we're back at it again on Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. I got very little sleep last night. That's why I'm all over the place. Didn't sleep well. Wasn't feeling great. But we battled through it. Battled through all the technological gremlins in there. Everybody have an amazing day. Enjoy game 2 between the Braves and the Dodgers. Don't forget, go to dugoutmugs.com/today so you can get your free, I want to say it again, free knob shot. Just pay the $8.95 shipping and handling. We'll see you Monday, everybody. Peace out.
Love you guys.